son of a former Division I softball player, Barnheiser earned all Big Ten honors.
We are back at Sharon J. Drysdale Field for the second of 3 games between the Michigan Wolverines and Northwestern Wildcats softball teams. Michigan coming off a 9-1 5-inning loss in yesterday's contest as their first loss in Big Ten play. Welcome everybody, I'm Zachary Linder along with Vihaan Easwar. And Vihaan, we take a look at this Michigan team. Came into this series 6-0 in Big Ten games, getting sweeps of Purdue and Indiana. And we knew this was going to be a tough challenge against the back-to-back Big Ten champions. But yesterday's game did not go the way anyone on the Michigan side expected it to. What specifically do you think went wrong that they have to correct if they want to come out victorious in today's games?
Well, certainly, Zach. I think the one thing that Michigan needs to work on is the cohesion of their batters. You had a couple of different players playing different styles. Like, I think you had McVeigh and Langford and Conway trying to go a little more aggressive, but you had Sealer playing that small ball approach. And neither really seemed to be what the Wolverines needed yesterday. So I think they need to kind of figure out what they're going with as a team. They just need a little bit more cohesion. And I'd like to add another thing. I think the quality of defense could be vastly better. They were fine in the air, but they struggled massively with ground balls, letting a lot of pretty easy balls slip past them and end up being turned into runs. So I think those are 2 things that the Wolverines need to work on if they want to pull out the win today and in the next game of the doubleheader.
So we'll take a look at the starting lineups here. Michigan's lineup the same as it was in yesterday's contest. Ellie Sealer leading off, playing left. Indiana Langford in the number 2 spot, playing second base. Maddie Erickson batting third and playing third. Kiki Thole in the cleanup spot, playing first. Lily Valamont batting 5th and catching. Janisa Conway batting 6th in center field. Ellis Stevenson in the 7 slot, playing right field. Ava Costales, the designated player, will hit 8th, and Ella McVeigh will round things out at shortstop. And in the circle for the Wildcats, it'll be Riley Grudzelanek today. Wildcats number 2 starter, coming in, making her 9th start of the year, 13th appearance overall, 2.88 ERA, with a 5-1 record. The whip up at 1.62, and you take a look in 41 1/3 innings. Grudzelanek has allowed 44 hits, so just over a hit per inning, but has allowed 23 walks compared to just 18 strikeouts. Not a ratio you typically see from successful pitchers, but still pretty strong results overall this season for Grudzelanek, as we're just about set to go here.
And personally, I would have expected to see Renee Cunningham, who's been their number 2 option for most of the season, come out today, but I would imagine they're saving her for the second game.
First pitch to Sealer, misses down and away for a ball. The count is 1-0 here, just underway. Yeah, 1-0 count. Fastball clips the outer edge for a called strike. So 1-1 count now. And Ellie Sealer did pick up a pair of walks in yesterday's contest as the 1-1 misses outside. Only 1 hit for the Wolverines yesterday, collected by Indiana Langford. 2-1 count now. And a pop-up going into shallow left field, and it'll be the shortstop, Bridget Donahue, drifting back just into the outfield to make the catch, and 1 away here in the top of the first.
Right, I think for most of those first few pitches, we saw Sealer looking to repeat the sort of small ball, more defensive stance she played to open out the game, but I think she just went for a little too much on there, resulting in that first out.
So with 1 away, it'll be Indiana Langford, as she'll slap that first pitch, but ends up slapping it straight back.
Right, and that's something that we saw a lot of yesterday, a lot of those pitches thrown in Langford's direction going back for foul balls.
The Wolverines with 7 strikeouts in yesterday's contest, struggling to put the ball in play. It's the 0-1. Gets the outside corner, strike 2. Wildcats, on the other hand, picked up 6 walks, only struck out twice. Big reason why they were able to put up 9 runs in those 5 innings as the 0-2 misses well outside and low. Northwestern did leave 8 runners on base yesterday. In those 5 innings, still scoring 9. Michigan left 5 on, coming from those 4 walks. 1-2 count, 1 out, no one on, top of the first. Here comes the pitch, and they'll miss outside.
And Langford, in her 2 at-bats, secured the Wolverines' only hit of the game yesterday.
You see Grzelcyk here working away from those left-handed hitters. Not really challenging inside. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. She'll go outside again, slap to third. And throw will retire. Langford 5-3, the play made by Hannah Cady. The first 2 batters retired for the Wolverines.
Grzelcyk's come out strong here today, in comparison to Ashley Miller, who seemed to have some time easing into the game, but ended up pitching quite a solid inning for the Wildcats yesterday.
It'll be Maddie Erickson. The first righty for Michigan will pop the first ball foul to the right side out of play. Hitting a truck out in the practice field, currently under construction here. So Northwestern has begun the renovations on their football stadium, Ryan Field. They'll have to find another home for the next 2 years for their football team until that project is completed, as the 0-1 pitch gets right over the plate at the bottom of the zone. Count 0-2. And to your point, Grzelcyk attacking here early, much more than we saw from either pitcher in yesterday's contest. 0-2, fastball, misses upstairs. First time we've really seen Grzelcyk go up there. Needs to count 1 ball, 2 strikes. And just underway here in this Saturday doubleheader to wrap up this 3-game series. 1-2, grounder to third, will go just foul. Erickson a little bit too far out in front.
Right, and I think Erickson's placement in the lineup is a nice bit of change-up because she's coming after 2 left-handers, and she herself is a right-hander.
Yeah, and it's interesting, you see 3 lefties stacked in the Michigan lineup in the 9-1-2 spots, McVeigh, Sealer, and Langford. So the righty up here now, 1-2. High fastball fouled back. Erickson staying alive here. Forcing Grzelcyk to work a bit harder. Took 9 pitches to get the first 2 batters out. She'll walk around the circle. Here comes the 1-2 again. Fouled back again. Erickson continuing to fight off pitches here. Looking to get on base and start a 2-out rally.
Erickson batting .360, .387, .640 in terms of slash line with 8 homers and 24 RBI. Definitely one of the most important players in this Wolverines offense.
And swing and a miss on an inside pitch. Erickson goes down on strikes. The first strikeout of the game. There's a 1-2-3 inning for Grzelcyk as Northwestern gets set to bat here in the bottom of the first.
Right, and once again, that inning was a repeat of a lot of the issues that plagued the Wolverines yesterday, but I think a lot of it owes to just a strong opening to the game from Grzelcyk. She's definitely taking less time to feel out the game than either of the aces yesterday.
Yeah, strong first inning from Grzelcyk. It'll be Erin Hain in the circle for the Wolverines, making her 14th start, 21st appearance. Comes in with an 11-3 record, 2.64 ERA. We'll take a look at the Northwestern starting lineup. It'll be Kansas Robinson leading off at second, Kelsey Nader batting second, playing right, Angela Zedek batting third and left. Hannah Cady, the third baseman, will hit cleanup. Emma Ray will catch and bat fifth. Bridget Donahue will bat sixth and play short. Izzy Cunha will be the designated player in the 7th spot. Ainsley Muno will be in the 8 hole playing first base. And Ayanna Lindsay will wrap things up out in center field. Same 9 starters for the Wildcats. Only difference is Emma Ray jumps in front of Bridget Donahue in the lineup. Emma Ray, 2 for 3 yesterday, including a big home run, a 2-run shot that really opened the game up back in the 3rd inning.
Kansas Robinson also played a very clean game yesterday. 1 for 2, batting .488 with 1 RBI.
First pitch to Robinson, fly ball out to deep left field, and that is over the wall for an opposite field home run on the first pitch in the bottom of the 1st inning. Wildcats lead 1-0.
Right, and that is absolutely not the way Erin Hain wanted to start out her game. And for Ellie Sealer, she was clearly prepared to make the catch. She was clearly extending outward, but she just wasn't going to be able to be there in time. Ball was just hit with way too much velocity.
Yeah, and it's a pretty high wall out there in left field as well. Going to be tough to rob a home run, and it got out of there very quickly. Kansas Robinson with her team-leading 9th home run picks up RBI number 25. As the first pitch to Nadar, she'll take away for a ball. So you saw Grudzelanek look pretty dominant in that 1st inning. Only silver lining for the Wolverines was Maddie Erickson at least working the pitch count up. So the 1-0 will be popped foul behind the plate, and Lily Valamont will get back to make the catch right in front of the screen, and 1 away here in the bottom of the 1st.
Right, and I think right away there, that's, again, another good thing that you want to see from the Wolverines, because Valamont did have some issues with making those catches behind her yesterday, and today she was able to fully extend, turn around, and make that catch to secure the out.
Angela Zidak will show bunt, pull back, and pop a foul behind the plate. 0-1 count here. So yeah, Erin Hain, of course, trying to get the same success as Grudzelanek and kind of turn the corner after a rough start from Lauren Dorkowski. But falling behind just on 1 pitch as it looks like a changeup misses upstairs for a ball. We'll even up the count at 1-1 to the 3-hitter. 1-1 count. Zidak again, one of 6 players in this lineup who started every game as she'll swing through a high fastball. Make the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2, that's fouled off the other way. Far out of play. Into the construction zone once again.
Zidak yesterday, 2 for 4, 1 RBI, batted .337.
1-2, popped up in foul territory. Should be playable and just not seen by Kiki Thole at first base. Unable to come down with the catch. It looked like Lily Valamont may have had a play. It looked like she tracked the ball better. Was in the position where it probably was the right decision for Kiki Thole to go get it, but just did not see it in the high sun here just after noon on a bright day. Count remains 1-2. And there come the defensive miscues again that you had talked about. We saw a lot throughout yesterday's game as Zidak will swing and miss through a changeup. And Hayden will pick up her first strikeout. 2 away here, bottom of the 1st.
Number 16, third baseman, Hannah Cady.
So Hannah Cady will step into the box. Cleanup hitter, batting left-handed. And she will be hit by the pitch.
And she struggled a bit hitting yesterday when 0 for 3 batted just .244.
So Cady now aboard with 2 outs. That'll bring up
Number 17,
Emma Ray, the catcher.
Emma Ray.
Again, big game for her yesterday, including a 2-run home run that really opened the door offensively for the Wildcats as the first pitch misses upstairs. 1-0, bottom of the 1st. This doubleheader, Wildcats up 1-0 on the series with a 9-1 win in yesterday's contest. 1-0, check swing, pulled foul in front of the Michigan dugout, where it will be retrieved by Maddie Erickson. They'll even up the count at 1-1.
And yesterday, Northwestern did really well at getting on base, and once again, they've shown they can do that early on by getting Haiti to first.
And check swing by Ray on a high fastball does not go around. Now they'll appeal to first base umpire Christina Drum, who confirms no swing. So it'll be a 2-1 count. See a bit of indecisiveness here from Ray as she'll more confidently take the 2-1 changeup upstairs. Another mislocation for Hain. That'll run the count to 3-1. And the 3-1 fastball misses in. So the Wildcats pick up another base runner. Back-to-back 2-out runners with a hit by pitch and now a walk. And it sets up the first runners in scoring position opportunity for Northwestern. It'll be after Bridget Donahue. They still take the first pitch up and away. Hey, now starting to really lose location here. And that's going to bring out an early trip to the circle from Jennifer Brundage.
Donahue yesterday, 1 for 3, batting .292.
Again, didn't look like Hain was mechanically off at the start. Obviously gave up that first pitch home run to Kansas Robinson, which is not what you want. But giving up a solo home run to their star hitter you can live with. I think the bigger concern here has to be just losing location. A hit by pitch, 5-pitch walk, and again that first pitch to Donahue, nowhere close. Velman had to reach all the way back across the plate to field it. So again, a 1-0 count. 2 out, 2 on. And misses downstairs. So 2 balls, no strikes. Northwestern's feeling a potential big inning here to get started. The 2-0 will be fouled back into the screen. Donahue aggressively pursuing the upstairs heater, but not able to elevate the bat head enough.
Donahue on the year, .495 on base percentage, 19 hits, 4 home runs, 14 RBI.
2-1. Again, looks like she went off speed, missing upstairs. That's a particularly concerning miss. We know she's not trying to get that changeup upstairs, but just well high off the hand. 3-1, and that will get into the strike zone. Around the knees, count will run full. Runners will get a head start now on 3-2. Wildcats up 1-0, looking for more in the first. And the 3-2 will be fouled back, so we'll do it again.
I think Hain is slowly feeling her way into the game. I think that changeup that she's worked with in the past few pitches does seem to suit her a little better than whatever she was doing to start off.
Payoff pitch will come again. And misses upstairs. Back-to-back walks. And without the aid of a base hit, Northwestern has loaded the bases with 2 outs for the DP Izzy Cunha. And a big opportunity for her here. Cunha getting her first career home run at the collegiate level. Will take the first pitch for a ball. It was in yesterday's contest a back-to-back shot after Emma Ray's 2-run blast in the third. Huge at-bat here early on. Michigan down 1-0, 1-0, misses away. And a check swing appeal to third. Cunha did not offer, according to Brad Newton, on the outside pitch. Count 2-0. Nowhere to put her. Erin Hain is going to have to throw a strike. 2 balls, no strikes. Bases are loaded. And swings through a fastball right there, just behind it. Brings the count back to 2-1. Big pitch for Hain to get back into the count. 2-1 comes downstairs. And once again, having trouble locating that changeup. You'd obviously prefer to see it low than high, but at this point with a 3-1 count, she needs to get a ball in the strike zone or another run scoring. Here comes the 3-1. Fly ball into deep left center field, and it's gone off of Welsh Ryan Arena behind the fence. It's a grand slam for Northwestern. 2 home runs in the inning. They lead 5-0.
And I'd say that isn't the start that Michigan wanted, but I think that would be an understatement as to how disastrous this inning has been.
Yeah, I mean, I had said you give up the solo home run to Kansas Robinson. You need to just forget about that, get back into the inning. She gets the 2 outs, loads the bases with a hit batter and 2 walks, falls behind 3-1. She had to get a ball in the strike zone, and they got too much of the strike zone. That ball was way over the wall. You have the basketball arena sitting back behind the wall, hitting well up on that building as Muno will take the first pitch in the strike zone. And 5-0 Northwestern here in the first inning of game 1 this afternoon. The 0-1, another changeup upstairs. Wildcats in their all-purple uniforms today. Wolverines wearing white with blue sleeves. 1-1, down and in, 2 balls and a strike to the number 8 hitter.
And as we were just saying, Hayne has figured out that she wants to utilize the changeup, but she hasn't seemed to figure out what direction she's going. She's using. She's rotating between sending it upstairs and downstairs, and I think she needs to find some cohesion if they want to continue the onslaught and stop the bleeding. Stop the onslaught.
2-1 misses low again. Count runs to 3-1. 9-hitter Ayanna Lindsay on deck. Wildcats looking to bat around here in the first inning, having already put up 5 on the board. 3-1. Gets the outside corner, called strike, and another full count here as the pitch count quickly running up.
Muno, right-handed batter, bats 2-6-1.
And swing and a miss on a pitch on the outside corner. Muno goes down on strikes. Hayne picks up her second strikeout, but not before throwing 33 pitches, giving up 2 home runs and 5 runs in this first inning. And as you said, this inning could not have gone much worse for the Wolverines as they now trail 5-0 after 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can't even say that it's a fielding error because they just haven't had opportunities. I just think Hayne is probably a little bit in her own head right now. I think she needs to go to the sidelines, talk with Brundage, and really just kind of figure out where she wants to send that changeup or even consider just throwing a different type of pitch. Because at the moment what she's attempting is very clearly not working. Northwestern is doing quite well at making contact. When they do make contact, it goes far.
Yeah, to your point, Erin Hayne just not giving her defense a chance to help her out. The 5 base runners who all scored coming on 2 home runs, a hit by pitch, and 2 walks. Only 1 ball put in play in the bottom of the first inning, which was a foul out behind the plate. So we'll take a look at the Northwestern defense here in the second inning. Nothing's changed from yesterday. Ainsley Muno still out there at first. Kansas Robinson playing second. Bridget Donahue at short. Hannah Katie at third. In the outfield, Angela Zedak, Ayanna Lindsay, and Kelsey Nader go left to right. Emma Ray behind the plate. Riley Gretzelanek in the circle today.
Yeah, and I'm going to be very interested to see what Michigan's strategy is going to be for this next at-bat. You know, do they keep attempting to play small ball, or do they just come out swinging? Because at this point, you have to just try throwing anything at the wall and seeing what will stick.
It'll be the middle of the order here for the Wolverines after they were set down in order in the first. Kiki Thole leads off. First pitch, low for a ball. 1-0.
Thole, 255, 325, 500 slash line, 7 homers, 20 RBI on the air.
1-0 grounded up the middle and not fielded cleanly by Donahue, who moved over to her left to get to it, but could not get it cleanly in her glove. Would have been a tough play anyway. It'll be an infield single for Thole, Wolverines get their first base runner here to lead off the second inning.
Right, and I think that's a good ground ball from Thole. I think she had just about the right amount of power to send it where she wanted to send it, and then just immediately made the move. Didn't necessarily need the breakaway speed, but that ball gave her enough time to go ahead and get the single.
So Lily Valamont, the catcher, will step in as she'll hit the first pitch high into short left center field. Fielded by the center fielder, Ayanna Lindsay. And one away here. Quick out into second inning after the Kiki Thole leadoff single.
Yeah, I think it was fairly evident that that was going to be an out from the minute the bat hit the ball, just hit a little too high.
Janisa Conway will step into the lefty batter's box with one out. First pitch, fastball away for a ball. One ball, no strikes, runner on first, one out. Michigan trailing 5-0 in the top of the second. The 1-0 goes off speed, same location off the outer edge, and Conway gets ahead 2-0. As the 2-0 delivery misses the outside corner, held for a second by Emma Ray as though she thought it had gotten that edge, but it's a 3-0 count here. Wolverines looking to get some traffic. The 3-0 gets well over the plate for a called strike. Conway taking all the way there. Still in the driver's seat at 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Fastball upstairs. 4-4. So Wolverines here now have a pair of runners on with only 1 out.
Right, and I like that improvement from Conway. I think she was a little less impulsive to swing. She seemed content to just get the walk for her first walk in either game. And she's batting .247, .383, .624 on the year.
So Ellis Stevenson will step in now.
Right fielder.
The right fielder entering today's game with just a 198 batting average. Not a lot of success yet from the freshman. Line drive, caught by the shortstop, Bridget Donahue, who's going to run it to second base for an unassisted double play. So that ball was not read well by Kiki Thole, caught off the bag, and it'll be an inning-ending line drive double play. Wolverines retire, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Middle of the second, Wildcats still in front, 5-0.
Right, and I think, like I said, it's a significant improvement in terms of base play and small ball from the Wolverines, but you just need to make contact, and they just need to find a way to figure out Garjlanek, because at the moment has the upper hand over the Wolverines batters.
Bottom of the second here. Take a look at the Wolverines defense, which outside of the circle is unchanged from yesterday's contest. Kiki Thole at first, Indiana Langford at second, Ella McVeigh playing short, Maddie Erickson over at third base. Outfield will go Ellie Sealer, Janisa Conway and Ella Stevenson left to right, Lily Valamont back behind the plate. She'll receive warm-up pitches from Erin Hain, who remains in the game after a very rough first inning. And you just wonder at this point, even if she's able to settle down here, will there be enough in this Wolverines lineup that only mustered 1 hit in yesterday's contest to be able to claw back into this big deficit? Again, Northwestern only picking up 2 hits in the first inning, but 5 runs thanks to a hit batter and pair of walks before the decisive grand slam from Izzy Cunha. Just 1 day after picking up her first career home run, picks up a bigger second home run. As Lindsay takes inside for ball 1 to start the bottom half of the second inning. One 0 count. Fouls it back over the screen. Count even now, a ball and a strike.
Lindsay with 16 hits, 338 on-base percentage, 324 slugging percentage, no homers, but 11 RBI on the year.
1-1. Change up upstairs, 2-1. Once again, seeing Vihaan struggle a bit with that pitch. You figure the move typically is to go the rising pitch up, change up down. As there, she'll throw the heater, but that'll miss high as well. And the count runs to 3-1 with the top of the order looming. Kansas Robinson, who just picked up her 9th home run of the season in the first inning, in the on-deck circle. 3-1, popped foul, and that'll go over the Northwestern dugout. So it'll be a full count here to the first batter in the bottom of the second. 3-2 the count. And fastball upstairs, ball 4. And that's going to give Kansas Robinson a base runner to work with.
And one thing to note, Northwestern's batting lineup skews significantly right-handed. Only 3 left-handers, who are Robinson, Nader, and Katie, compared to 6 right-handers.
Robinson, one of those 3 lefties, along with Kelsey Nader, the on-deck hitter. So an opposite-handed matchup here. Robinson lines the first ball foul the other way into the screen on the left side. Count goes 0-1. Kansas Robinson with the home run back in the first inning, bringing her average up to 494 on the year. 0-1. She'll take off speed in the strike zone. So Vihaan gets ahead here, no balls, 2 strikes. And Kansas Robinson, yesterday's contest, went 1 for 2 with an RBI, picked up 2 walks as well. She's continued what she's done all season in this matchup. 0-2. This is a bit inside. Count runs 1 ball, 2 strikes. Very full stadium here, not a particularly large stadium, but the Wildcats faithful have turned out very well for this doubleheader. The 1-2 is upstairs. Robinson starts to offer, but checks her swing. So the count even now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, Wildcats 1 in 5 innings on the run rule yesterday. Looking to maybe do that today again as Robinson swings and misses over the top of a changeup. First time this series that the Wildcats star will go down on strikes. 1 away here in the bottom of the second. Nader now coming up, the number 2 hitter. Fouled out back in the first. So we'll now have a stoppage here. Laura King, home plate umpire, comes out to say something to Erin Vihaan. First pitch, up and away for a ball. Nader, one of 2 Wildcats from the state of Michigan, as she'll swing well out in front of a outside changeup.
And I think that changeup was focused a little bit more towards the middle, which is something that I think Vihaan has started to settle into doing a little bit more, rather than angling upstairs or towards the zone.
And Nader from Canton, Michigan, just about 25 minutes outside of Ann Arbor. She'll take a 1-1 changeup upstairs. Very strong top third of this Wildcats lineup. All with averages of 333 or above entering this game, as she'll slap it out into left field. Play is made by Ellie Sealer. That fly ball hit right to her. And 2 outs here after the leadoff walk.
As mentioned, Sealer was the Wolverines' best fielder yesterday. She didn't need to do an awful lot on that catch, but it's still good use of techniques for her to stretch out her arm and make the play without having to extend herself too much.
So 2 outs here for Angela Zedak. And she'll take off the inside corner. Didn't look like it missed by much, but it'll be a ball. 1-0 count.
3 walks and 2 home runs for the Wildcats, culminating in a 5-0 lead in a grand slam for first-year Izzy Cunha. Zachary showing
1-0. Upstairs, runner going to second. Throw's not in time, and it's not handled cleanly by Ella McVeigh anyway. Pitch was taken for a ball, and so that'll be a stolen base for Ayanna Lindsay, her 3rd of the year out of 4 attempts.
Yeah, and I think McVeigh was just behind that ball, reflection of the continued defensive sloppiness that the Wolverines showed yesterday as well as today so far.
And it was not going to matter there. The throw was high, and I think Lindsay had slid in before the throw even arrived. And now there's a discussion here that I'm wondering if it maybe could be about Lindsay leaving the base too early. But I don't think there's going to be any review. Bonnie Thole still having some conversation with third base umpire Brad Newton. She'll now retreat to the dugout. And we're set to go with a 2-0 count, 2 outs. Runner on second base now. Zidek shows bunt, pulls back. Off speed upstairs. Count goes to 3-0. Cleanup hitter Hannah Katie on deck, who started the barrage of base runners back in the first that culminated with the Izzy Cunha grand slam. It's 3-0. Gets it at the knees for a called strike. Count runs to 3-1 here. Showing bunt. Pulls back on 3-1. Grounds hit the other way. 4 base hit through the 3-4 hole. Here comes Lindsay to the plate. She slides in safely. RBI single for Angela Zidek. And it's a 6-0 lead for the Wildcats in the second.
Lindsay showing the same bit of footwork that enabled her to get to second base in the first place. The Wolverines missing yet another ground ball.
Number 16, Hannah Katie.
So Hannah Katie will step in. And first pitch, changeup down, but ruled as a swing by Hannah Katie. Laura King making the call behind the plate. So there'll be no balls and a strike. And no runs, 1 hit, no errors so far for the Wolverines early on. Wildcats have 6 runs on 3 hits, no errors. And line foul there. Katie way out in front of an off-speed pitch. Just gets it off the end of the bat. Count 0-2. Vihaan 1 strike away from getting out of the second inning, but already trailing 6-0. The 0-2 fastball flied way foul out over the Michigan dugout on the third base side. Katie staying alive, and Katie hit by a pitch, the first pitch she saw back in the first inning. 0-2, swing and a miss on a high pitch. So Katie goes down on strikes. Second strikeout, or fourth strikeout, I apologize, picked up by Erin Hain, but she leaves the circle trailing 6-0 through 2 innings.
Yeah, and I think from what we've seen of Michigan's defense, it doesn't seem like they've been able to significantly get the better of the issues that plagued them yesterday. There's still the whole point of being behind balls, of missing easy ground balls. It's just the entire Wolverines team seems badly out of sync, and Northwestern having the element of surprise with that grand slam doesn't help things at all, as they find the deficit opening and the hole deepening.
So again, Michigan gonna need to find a spark from the offense. I mean, it did look to me like that base hit from Angela Zidek with just a well-placed ball into 3-4 hole. Too quick for Kiki Tholer, Indiana Langford to get to. To your point, though, we have seen a number of plays. Michigan did pick up 2 errors in yesterday's contest. 1-1-2, not a line score you like to see. but we've seen a number of misplays. We already earlier today saw Kiki Thole lose a ball in the sun. Again, not scored an error. And fortunately for Aaron Haynes, he was able to get out of that at bat with no damage.
And Northwestern, 6 runs off of 3 hits. The Wolverines, 0 runs off of 1 hit.
Leading off the top of the 3rd inning for the Wolverines.
This will be Ava Costales.
Second baseman Ava Costales.
The DP will lead off here as it's 8-9-1 up for Michigan. First pitch taken inside for a ball, 1-0 count. It's the 1-0, gets into the strike zone. 1-1 count. Costales, like many of her teammates, an unproductive day. Yesterday going 0 for 2, including a strikeout. Looking to create some momentum here with a 1-1 count. Grounder through the 5-6 hole for a base hit out to left field. And the DP reaches here to lead off the 3rd and set the stage for Ella McVeigh.
Number 32, shortstop Ella McVeigh.
McVeigh yesterday went 0 for 2, but batted .310. Left-handed junior.
And it looks like we might see an early pinch running move from Bonnie Thole, and we will. It's going to be Maddie Ramey, the utility player, making a pinch running appearance. Michigan looking perhaps a little desperate to just get anything on the board. Of course, with this designated player role, they don't have to worry about making a defensive replacement in the bottom half of this inning. But still, they're going to exhaust the substitute early on unless they leave Ramey in the game, as the first pitch to McVeigh misses high for a ball. Top of the order looming as McVeigh pulls back a bunt on 1-0. Grudzelinek's offering misses down and away, and this is going to trigger a trip to the circle from Emma Ray and the entire infield staff. 6 players out there as all infielders come in. And it almost feels like for Michigan, this has to be the time, because they're probably not going to get all 6 back this inning. They have a sliver of momentum offensively with the leadoff single, a 2-0 count, and so you think they really have to ride it if they want to claw their way back into this game and also prevent a potential 2nd consecutive run rule loss. Count is 2-0 as McVeigh will show an attempt to slap but not offer with the bat. Pitch misses upstairs, 3-0 count. And you have to figure here Grudzelenek has to look to just get one in the strike zone. And she will not. And McVeigh hit in the helmet on what would have been ball 4 anyway.
And the Wolverines once again have 2 runners on base, showing just a bit of improved base movement in comparison to yesterday. But now the question is they need to get hits.
Already have passed their hit total in yesterday's contest, picking up 2 in the first 3 innings. It'll be Ellie Sealer, pop-out victim her first time up, with runners on 1st and 2nd, no one out, trailing 6-0 here in the top of the 3rd. First pitch, outside corner, does not get it. Crowd doesn't like it. Wildcats bench doesn't like it. But it's a ball and no strikes for the leadoff hitter. (1-0). Fastball misses away again, and now starting to perhaps see some command issues from Grudzelenek. And this time, it'll be the pitching coach making the trip out there. Rochelle Gascoigne talks with her pitcher. Count 2-0. Runners on first and second, 0 and out. And Vihaan, I mean, just looking here with 2 runners on, how do you feel about the approach you've seen so far in the top of the third?
Well, I think Ellie Sealer is the ideal player to have at that in the situation because her whole style is play small ball, usually start a bunt and then open up from there and then focus on getting a run and to base. I feel like that's what the Wolverines need at the moment. I feel like someone like Langford or Conway would, I don't want to say screw it up, but not necessarily be ideal for this more aggressive approach. So I think the Wolverines, given who's at bat and given the fact that there's 2 runners on base, are in the best position that they could at the moment. It's just that Sealer needs to continue doing what she's done, maybe get a ground ball so that the Wolverines can load their bases.
Again, 2-0 count. Indiana Langford on deck, 2-0. Again, showing that slap hitting approach. Keeps the bat on the shoulder. That one will find the strike zone. So it's a 2-1 count now. Comes the offering, bunts it right back to the pitcher, throw over to first, and just gets the out. As Grudzelanic just gets it over in time. It will move the runners up, but you have to figure from the Michigan side, Sealer will get credit for a sacrifice, but you'd really like to get her on when you're down 6-0 and need a big inning. Bonnie Thole out on the field, I think thinking about a potential challenge. It did from here look like the right call. There will not be a challenge. So Langford in the left-handed batter's box, takes away for a ball. Langford grounded out her first time up. Figure she hits a soft grounder, probably enough to get a run in. As 1-0. Attempted slap, but no swing. Count 2-0, misses away again. You see this Wildcats defense really playing in, except Kansas Robinson at second, who's almost all the way back on the grass. 2-0. Fouled off the other way. Just over the press box. 2-1 count. Michigan's got to be thinking they need at least 2 runs here. Hoping for even more, but needs something to get momentum started. 2-1 changeup on the outside corner, called strike. Evens up the count, 2-2.
I do think what Sealer did in her last at-bat was still good coaching from Thole. I think that was the right movement they needed. It's just that she was just off.
2-2. Misses upstairs, runs the count full.
And I've noticed Langford herself seems to struggle a little bit more with the upstairs pitching. It just, her natural instinct to swing and her more aggressive style of play just doesn't do well against an upstairs fastball.
3-2, line to third. Caught by Hannah Cady. Looks to second. But McVeigh able to get back in time. But there's a big second out. Not able to get a run in. And it'll now take a hit from Maddie Erickson to put anything on the board in the third. And grounded foul toward third. As Maddie Ramey jumps over it. Well, it wasn't foul territory. Would have been 2 runs if it had gotten through and stayed fair. Instead, it'll be a harmless foul ball. The number 3 hitter, Wolverines' most well-rounded hitter. It's the 0-1, chopped right back to the pitcher. Grudzelanic tosses it over to first. Gloved by Muno. Side is retired. Wolverines waste an opportunity to get on the board. And at the middle of the third, Northwestern still with a 6-0 lead.
And it continues Grudzellanic's strong start to the game, and it continues the Wolverines' potency when it comes to getting on base, but struggles in terms of hitting itself.
So Aaron Hain will go back to the circle. Again, really struggled so far through the first 2 innings, allowing 6 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks. She has picked up 4 strikeouts, but they've just come around so many base runners. Of course, the big dagger was in the first inning. Gave up that solo homer to Robinson, but then with 2 outs, hit Katie with the pitch, walked Ray, walked Donahue, and then it was Cunha with that grand slam. As Wolverines will break a huddle at the circle. About set to go here. It'll be 5, 6, 7 coming up for the Wildcats. So Emma Ray will get things going here in the third. Walked and scored in the first. And coming off the game that included a 2-run homer, 2 for 3 effort yesterday, takes the first pitch on the outer edge for a called strike. And no runs, 2 hits, no errors for Michigan. 6 runs on 3 hits, no errors for Northwestern. It's the 1-0. Misses upstairs. I apologize, it's 1-1. The first pitch was a strike. 1-1, fouled straight back. Ray just getting a sliver of the bat on it, but cannot change the direction of that fastball. And Ray falls behind 1-2. And 1 ball, 2 strikes. The leadoff hitter in the bottom of the third, change up at the head level of Emma Ray. Taken for a ball. 2-2 count. And then Ray, the freshman, has started every game for Northwestern as 2-2. With a little more heat, but still missing upstairs, running the count to full. In the on-deck circle, the shortstop, Bridget Donahue. And swing and a miss as it looked like she went fishing on a pitch that looked up and away. So Ray goes down on strikes. The 5th strikeout picked up by Erin Hain. And for the first time, Erin Hain retires a leadoff batter.
Number 5, Bridget Donahue.
With 1 out, Bridget Donahue steps in, takes a strike on the outer third. Donahue, just like Ray, walked in the first, driven in by Cunha's grand slam. Bunts on 1-0, pulls it, but it's going to go just foul. Probably about a foot foul, where it was fielded by Maddie Erickson.
Donahue on the air, right-handed batting, 292, 500, 554. 19 hits, 20 runs, 4 homers.
0-2 count, pitch misses just outside. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. To the shortstop. And the 1-2 high changeup popped up, stays in the infield, and it'll be caught by the second baseman, Indiana Langford. And so 2 quick outs here for Erin Hain in the third.
Right, I think it just goes to show the Wolverines have done well with balls in the air in terms of anticipating them and making a catch when they need to, but I just think it's the unpredictability of the ground ball coupled with the wind that may drive the ball in different directions that's contributed to their deficiency in that area.
As first pitch to Cunha will be popped over the screen and back behind the bleachers, which are only about 6 rows tall, back behind the plate here. 0-1, and that'll be fouled back into the screen. Caught by Valamon on the rebound. Gets it back into Hain. It's an 0-2 count now. Cunha with a grand slam that was a backbreaker for Aaron Hain and this Michigan team back in the first inning. Now a 6-0 lead for Northwestern. 0-2 just outside. Valamon froze for an extra half second, thinking that Hain may have gotten out of the inning, but has not. All 5 strikeouts from Hain have been of the swinging variety, and that'll change right here as it changeup finds the zone for strike 3, and the side is retired 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the third. It's a 6-0 Northwestern lead, but Erin Hain finally able to find her control in that inning and get through it quite swiftly.
Right, and I think despite the 6-0 deficit, I do think Hain is doing some things right as a pitcher. I think, as I said, I think the changeup is working for her, and I think if she can just consistently figure out how she wants to angle it, I don't think that, I'm not saying that the Wolverines will be able to pull back, but I don't think it will necessarily be as much of a beatdown as it's looking to be at this very moment. And on the same end, I think Grudgelanek deserves a lot of credit for having pitched an excellent game so far. While there are significant deficiencies on the Wolverines' end in terms of hitting, I think Grudgelanek has done a really great job just asserting her dominance and presence in the circle early on.
Yeah, Grudgelanek allowing just 2 hits and a walk through 3 innings. She's only picked up 1 strikeout, but able to get outs on balls in play, not allowing hard contact. And I think it was, as you had mentioned, just in the first inning, it was clear from the get-go that Grudgelanek looked sharper than the Wildcats' ace Ashley Miller did yesterday. Miller picking up a 5-inning complete game, allowing just 1 run, which was unearned on 1 hit. Did pick up 7 strikeouts, but 4 walks. Did show a lack of control at times, just 1 walk so far for Grudgelanek, and I think that's the main reason she's just been able to work a lot quicker. Miller threw 94 pitches in those 5 innings. Grudgelanek at just 44 pitches to pick up her first 9 outs. It'll be the middle third for Michigan. Kiki Thal will start things off. 1 for 1 on the day. Takes down for a ball. Yeah, Wolverines got their first 2 on, had a second and third 1-out situation in the third, but could not capitalize. 1-0 changeup, drops into the strike zone on the inside half of the plate. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike. 4th inning, 6-0 to score. Northwestern out in front. The 1-1 misses low for a ball.
And in Thol's prior at-bat today, she recorded one of Wolverine's only 2 hits. And she has had 27 hits on the year, scoring 14 runs off those hits with 7 homers and 20 RBI.
As the 2-1 offering does not find the inside corner. Count 3-1, crowd not liking it. 3-1. And the 3-1 also misses inside. Really the same location as the last pitch. Same result, and that's going to earn Kiki Thol a leadoff walk. So for the second time this game, she gets on base to lead off an inning. That'll be the second walk picked up by a Wolverine hitter. That'll bring Lily Valamont to the box with a runner on first and no one out.
And that's going to be Kiki Thol's 10th walk of the year.
The catcher takes a fastball on the outside corner in the strike zone. And pop-out victim back in the second inning was Lily Valamont. It's the 0-1 in the dirt inside. Grudz-Lanek just lost the handle on it, 1-1 count. And this is 3 straight innings Michigan's gotten their leadoff man on. Just not able to capitalize up to this point, looking to change that. 1-1 fastball, downstairs, perhaps inside as well. Makes the count now 2 balls, 1 strike. And 2-1 with Thole on at first. Fastball finds the inside corner this time. And Grudz-Lanek works the count back to even. 2-2, foul tipped into the mitt. On a fastball up and away that Valmont could not get her bat up to. And so that'll be the 2nd strikeout picked up by Grudz-Lanek.
And that'll bring her up to 2 strikeouts and 2 walks on the day in 3.1 innings pitched.
So it'll be Tanisa Conway stepping back in, walked back in the 2nd inning, got stranded. Wolverines have left 4 runners on so far. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Only 1 runner left on base for the Wildcats, who have cashed in on their opportunities today. So 0-1 count with 1 out and a runner on first. Change up, low for a ball. So 1-1 count. Ray not able to successfully pull that ball back into the zone. Seen a pretty tight strike zone, it seems, from Laura King this afternoon. Swinging to miss on a high fastball. Conway well behind it. And the count now 1-2.
Conway has walked 19 times this season, 23 hits, from which she scored 27 runs.
So 1-2. And that pitch will miss away for a ball. Could not get the fastball into the zone.
Bringing up a crucial ball for Conway and a crucial ball for the Wolverines this inning.
So 2-2 count. The center fielder misses well outside for a ball. 3-2 count. In the on-deck circle is the freshman right fielder, Ellis Stevenson, who lined into an inning-ending double play back in the 2nd inning. 3-2, upstairs, foul tip into the mitt. And once again, Grudz-Lanek records a strikeout on a foul tip. And there's 2 outs here in the 2nd inning, or 4th inning, rather, back-to-back strikeouts. And so Stevenson will step into the box with a runner on first and 2 away. And change up off the inner edge to Stevenson. As Kuki Thole led off the inning with the walk. Still there after a pair of punch-outs. A 1-0 count to Stevenson. Riley Grudz-Lanek will deal. Line drive into center field and a diving catch by Ayanna Lindsay going to her right. Gets this crowd excited as the side is retired here in the top of the 4th, and it remains a 6-0 game in favor of the Wildcats.
Right, and Thole had the right velocity there, connected the bat well, but the ball just did not go high enough for anything meaningful to come of that. As Lindsay with a diving catch made fairly easily that retires the Wolverines.
Yeah, Northwestern did pick up 1 error in yesterday's game on a decision that I didn't even agree with. Oh, it seemed like it may have been a hit anyway. They did pick up 1 error there, but otherwise, I apologize. I believe that error was a fielding error, which was the right decision and allowed the only run for Michigan to score. So they were cost 1 run by a defensive miscue, but otherwise this Northwestern team, to the point you've been making all series, has definitely been sharper than Michigan. We've real plays One right there. And so we enter the bottom of the fourth. Aaron Hain back out in the circle. Again, a 1-2-3 inning. We'll bring up 8, 9, and 1. She set the order down, retire the side in order in the third. Ainsley Muno will start things off for Northwestern. But first, a quick visit here from Maddie Erickson, coming in from third base to chat with Hain. And now it's going to be Lily Valamont heading out from behind the plate.
Ainsley Muno in her one at-bat managed to get a walk as
Talk about what an exceptional job Drohan got extension before the start of the season. We know the long-term blueprint is there for Northwestern softball with nobody else except for Drohan.
So Muno will step into the right-handed batter's box to lead off the bottom of the fourth. Strikeout victim in the first. First pitch, it's outside for a ball. Hain has retired the last 4 batters she's faced, 3 of which have come via the strikeout.
Muno batting 5-7-1 from the leadoff position.
It's another pitch up and away. Count goes to 2-0. There's 2-0 fastball inside and gets a piece of the elbow of Muno, the signal indicated by Laura King. And so that'll be the second batter that Hain has hit in this game. The 13th that she's hit on the season in 63, now 66 and 2/3 innings pitched on the year. Looks like we're going to have a substitution here on the base paths as Grace Minarovic will come in to pinch run for the first baseman. We saw Minarovic enter as a pinch runner in yesterday's contest, also pinch running for Muno. Did not get across to score in that trip on the bases. The 9-hitter Ayanna Lindsay takes low for a ball. Now it's a faster runner on first base to work with. Again, Northwestern with a 6-0 lead. If they were able to scratch across another 2 runs this inning, they could end the game after the top of the 5th. Aaron Hain trying to prevent that as the 1-0 falls in for a strike. Evens up the count. As Lindsay fouls that 1-1 pitch back into the screen, runs to a ball, 2 strikes.
And that changeup from Hain was delivered more towards the middle, as she seems to mostly target either the middle or upstairs. Not a lot of balls going towards the zone as this game has progressed.
1-2, popped up to first base, and it'll be caught in fair territory by Kiki Thal, with a foot on the base as she caught it, but Minarovic safely standing on first base. So there's the first out, and it prevents an even more dangerous situation as the lineup turns over and Kansas Robinson, already with a home run on the game, steps back into the box, and runner going. Pitch bounces away from Valamont. And so Minarovic now at second base, and now a base hit from Robinson could score Northwestern its 7th run.
And I think Hain was trying to angle it a little bit to her east, but just the ball got carried and then bounced away from Valamont.
The 1-0 is popped into shallow left field. It's going to find a hole. A throw to third. Runner is safe, and Robinson will move up to second. And there's runners on second and third with 1 out for Northwestern, as that ball fell right in the hole between Ellie McVeigh and Ellie Sealer. Sealer tried to throw to third to retire Minarovic, who had to hold thinking that ball might be caught, but able to dive in ahead of the tag. Robinson will advance on the throw to second. And all of a sudden, again, that key 8th run for Northwestern standing at second base with only 1 out. The first pitch to Kelsey Nader finds the strike zone. You see all 4 Wolverine infielders playing just in front of the baseline. Ella McVeigh kind of right in the baseline as the 0-1 fastball misses high for a ball. Nader 0 for 2. It's fouled out and flied out. Again, a fly ball into the outfield, likely picks up another run. As that changeup will miss away, and it's a 3-1 count.
And I think Nader has definitely approached this at bat with a lot more caution, knowing that all she needs to do is to get herself on the plate. You haven't really seen her try to swing or try to force the play. I think she's just looking for the walk here.
And there is a base open, but a dangerous hitter, Angela Zidak, on deck, and that's a pop-up in foul territory, playable for Thole, and she will get it. About 6 feet in front of the Northwestern dugout, and there's a big second out for Erin Hain, not allowing the runners to advance.
Number 9, Angela Zidak.
As Angela Zidak will step in, Nader able to work ahead in the count, but just not able to drive that ball into the outfield. As the first pitch is a changeup that misses high. For a first pitch ball.
Zidak was and now is initially showing bunt.
Pulls it back, fastball, low. That'll be ball 2. Again, Hain does still have a base to work with. Cleanup hitter Hannah Cady is in the on-deck circle. A sharp fall off in statistics as the 2-0 changeup gets the top of the strike zone, much to the dismay of some of the Wildcat fans sitting right in front of us. But the count now 2-1. For the number 3 hitter. Again, we see Zidak showing bunt again, pulls it back, fastball, gets the strike zone, and the count is 2-2.
Right, and I think Zidak is going to need to maybe move away from showing the bunt because it looks like Hain has figured out how to work the ball into the strike zone.
And 2-2, fastball, upstairs. Zidak started to offer, but pulls her back well in time, and the count runs full. Again, with the cleanup hitter on deck. Zidak will pull her back, swing and a miss. Cannot catch up to the heater. A foul tip into the mid of Lily Valamon officially. And Hain escapes the second and third 1-out jam. And through 4 innings, the score remains Northwestern 6 and Michigan nothing.
And Hain coming up to save the Wolverines' hopes of being mercied early on in this game with 2 runners on base. It was potentially a very dangerous situation for them, but Hain remained unflinching with their changeup and has now held the Wildcats' offense back for 2 consecutive innings.
Yeah, and you wonder how much longer Hain's going to be out there. That pitch count climbing now at 90 pitches through 4 innings. On the other side, Riley Grudzelanek just 62 pitches through 4 innings. Grudzelanek has looked sharp here through her 4 innings of work, allowing just 2 hits and 2 walks. No runs on the board for Michigan.
As it looks like we're going to see the first appearance of Riley Karkabura at the plate in this series. The right-hander who's been batting 200, 200, 200 on the year in just 10 at-bats.
Karkabura not getting a lot of playing time so far this season, as you alluded to. It looks like she's set to lead off this inning. Take the place of Ava Costales. Costales was pinch run for back in the third inning by Maddie Ramey. So Maddie Ramey's day will be done. Costales retains her eligibility to re-enter the game.
Fifth inning for the Wolverines, number 4, Riley Carkerborough.
Carkerborough, the right-hander, will step into the box. And just 10 at-bats this season for Carkerborough. She does have 2 hits. The first pitch, change-up, drops in at the knees for a called strike. Carkerborough without an extra base hit, no walks, 1 RBI on the season. As the 0-1 comes, and that fastball will miss upstairs. Work the count to a ball and a strike. Wind blowing out toward left field. The 1-1 is fouled back off to the right side. So a 1-2 count. Not as windy, certainly feels warmer than it did in yesterday's game. You do wonder, with another game to be played as the sun goes down throughout the day, might start to feel a little closer to what we had yesterday. The 1-2 is popped up behind the plate, but that's going to go into the bleachers. And it'll become a souvenir. Again, doubleheader being played today with the threat of rain tomorrow. Will allow this Michigan team to get home a day early. Start time also moved up. Originally we were slated for a 1 p.m. local time start. Got moved up to noon. So a 1-2 count to the pinch hitter leading off the inning. Fouled into the screen again. Carkerborough stays alive. Wind's starting to pick up a bit here these last few minutes. 1-2, fastball, misses away.
Carkerborough has been showing bunt a fair bit often the past few plays.
Yeah, we've seen this from a number of hitters, putting that bunt bat out in front. Pulls back, 2-2, lined foul. Over past the Wolverines bullpen. So it's still a 2-2 count here. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Grudz-Atlantic. Fastball down and in. So a good pinch hitting appearance here for Carkerborough. Runs the count full with Ella McVeigh on deck. McVeigh hit by a pitch her first time up. 3-2. Line drive foul toward left field. That looked like it had the distance to be a home run, but Carkerborough not able to sit back long enough. So it's still a 3-2 count. Northwestern up 6-0, top of the 5th in the first game of a doubleheader. No outs, 3-2 count. Pitch misses downstairs, and Carkerborough works a pinch hit walk. So for the 4th straight inning, Michigan gets its leadoff man on. Just has not been able to capitalize up to this point.
Right, and that's one thing that they're doing significantly better than they were doing yesterday, just managing to get their first at-bat on base. And usually they're able to move at least 2 runners on base in every single inning. It's just that they need the hits to capitalize and make some scoring plays.
And 4 runners left on for Northwestern. Again, or for Michigan rather, who's eclipsed their hit total from yesterday, but not a high bar to cross. They have 2 so far today as McVeigh takes upstairs for ball 1. First of 3 straight lefties in this lineup will take the 1-0 over the outer half for a called strike. 1-1 count here to the shortstop. And with a .310 average, and the 1-1 is in the strike zone once again on that outer third, and it's now 1 ball to 2 strikes. Top of the order looming. In the 3rd inning, we saw the 8 and 9 both get on. Michigan could not do anything with it. The 1-2 misses down and away here. So McVeigh back to even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grounder the other way through the 5-6 hole for a base hit just past the glove of Hannah Cady, trying to reach to her left. And so just like the 3rd inning, the 8 and 9 hitters, albeit one as a pinch hitter, both able to get on base, setting up this top of the order. Are they able to come through here in the 5th?
Yeah, and I think at this point, you should keep your eye out for Sealer to maybe show Button a couple of times, maybe focus on getting that walk, focus on loading those bases that Langford's more aggressive style could come in and capitalize with a potential base hit or a homer.
And Sealer picked up a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning, but Langford and Erickson behind her unable to push any runs across in the same situation. Sealer not showing bunt there, takes high for a ball. 0 for 1 day, Sealer popped out to lead off the game. 1-0, fastball away, 2-0. And this is where with Grudzelenek's pitch count up to 79, you start to wonder how much is left in her tank, as you have Cammie Henry, the senior, throwing out in the Wildcats bullpen, and we are going to get a trip out to the circle here from Michelle Gascoigne.
Right, with a comfortable lead established, with a strong day from Grudgelanek, and with the game about more than halfway through, one would think it's about time to maybe rest her and save some of her energy for the doubleheader, assuming that they're not just going to roll with Ashley Miller again in the doubleheader, the second game of the doubleheader.
We have a full team conference here, the entire infield meeting at the circle, along with Michelle Gascoigne and the battery, as it'll break up, and Sealer will head back into the box with a 2-0 count. Runners on first and second, 0 and out, trailing by 6. Perhaps the last opportunity Michigan will get to try to claw their way back into this game. 2-0, fastball upstairs, and Sealer now ahead 3 balls, no strikes.
Right, and I'm a fan of Grudgelanek's release. It's not necessarily with power, but she has the velocity and she has the zip to make every single pitch a little unpredictable.
And nowhere close, missing way upstairs again. And that's gonna load the bases, and as you had talked about for Sealer, just get on base, really didn't have to do anything there. And now Indiana Langford steps in with the bases loaded, no one out. Only 1 home run on the season. Her only extra base hit she's picked up in 81 at-bats. Would be a really good time for her to get her second. The first pitch fastball gets over the outside corner for a called strike. Langford 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out so far in this game. 0-1 count. Fastball off the outer edge this time. So 1 ball, 1 strikes. Again, only 3 hits for the Wolverines so far, but they have picked up 4 walks. Along with the hit by pitch, they've gotten their share of base runners, have not cashed in so far. Again, the slap hitter here takes outside once again for a ball. And again, I think continuing to see the Grudzelenek really not wanting to challenge these left-handed hitters in particular inside. Working that outer edge on her arm side, having trouble hitting it. 2-1 slapped foul toward third. Cady ranges to her right to field it, but crosses the foul line, so it's a 2-2 count. And a huge at-bat here. Michigan down 6-0. But a base hit could certainly start to close the door just a bit. 2-2, grounded slowly. Throw to first, not in time, an infield single. As Hannah Katie ran right in front of the ball, could not field it. Donahue got it, but the throw to first was late. Everyone advances. Kookaburra will score. Michigan on the board, 6-1. Still have the bases loaded and no one out. Langford picking up her 10th RBI of the year on her 26th hit of the year. Again, 25 of those are singles, but still getting that average over 300. Maddie Erickson, the right-hander, steps in, takes a changeup in the dirt for ball one.
And Erickson in her 2 at-bats, 1 was a strikeout, 1 was a ground out.
And now another trip to the circle from MRA. Again, Northwestern already used their coach visit of the inning, so they cannot have a coach visit without replacing Grudzelanek. But you wonder here, again, 1 run isn't going to do it. I don't even think 2 runs is going to do it. Michigan really needs to put up a big crooked number to feel like they have a chance here. And, you know, back at the bottom of the 4th, we were talking about could Northwestern scratch across 2 more runs, and then they're looking to just end the game here in the 5th.
Right, and that's still a distinct possibility if this Michigan at-bat doesn't culminate in more than a single run.
Obviously, yesterday saw Northwestern up 7-1 entering the bottom of the 5th, pushed across 2 runs to end it. The lead at 6-1 here, but Michigan looking to close that gap with the bases loaded, no one out, 1-0 count to Maddie Erickson. Grudzelanek deals, fastball, inside, 2-0 count. Ellen McVeigh on third base after a single. Ellie Sealer on a second after walking. Indiana Langford standing on first, picking up an RBI infield single. The count 2-0 to Erickson. And fly ball out to deep left field and off the glove of the left fielder, Angela Zedak. 2 runs are going to score. Play at third base, and Langford is safe at third. It's a 2-run double, and Michigan is right back in this game. The score now 6-3 Northwestern. Runners on second and third. Still no one out for Michigan. And all of a sudden, Maddie Erickson is going to step to the plate as the tying run.
And I think if you're Northwestern at this time, this is when you really have to consider pulling Grudzelanek out. I think her effectiveness has waned, and that pitch clock is, at this point, 89 pitches, as I'm sure discussions are being had for the Wildcats. And the Wolverines now have time on their side. There's no outs. They're down by just 3 runs. There's no significant danger of Northwestern just coming out and killing the game on their next at-bat. And so now I think Michigan can just opt for the singles at this point, and it should still keep them in the game.
Yeah, and to your point, they are going to pull Grudzelanek right here, so her day will be done. And a very disappointing finish to her start. Pitches 4 innings without allowing any runs, faces 5 batters in the 3rd, cannot record a single out, gives up 2 walks, 2 singles, a big 2-run double right there. So all told, Grudzelanek allows 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, punches out 3, and Grudzelanek still responsible for the runners on second and third. So it'll be Renee Cunningham, the freshman, who will replace Grudzelanek. Cunningham making her 9th appearance of the year with a 3.15 ERA and a 1.20 whip in 20 innings she's pitched this year. And again, this has been a huge inning for Michigan, finally able to take advantage of the runners they have after getting the leadoff batter on 3 straight innings and getting nothing for it. But at this point, I think if you're Michigan, you have second and third, no one out. Obviously, they've scored 3 already. They're still down by 3. I think they have to get these 2 across, because then you're down 6-5, but you know you just scored 5. You knocked their starter out of the game, and you really feel like you're back in this game. If Michigan can't capitalize here, it still will be a big missed opportunity.
the mound now for the Wildcats, number 4, right-hander Renee.
And so it'll be Lexi Delamonica now,
Now batting, number 2, Kiki.
I believe,
Cole.
pinch running. With Kiki Thal in the box. It's the first pitch from Cunningham in for a called strike. And Delamonica pinch running for Maddie Erickson at second base. 0-1 count. Fly ball. That should get both runners over in fairly deep center field. The play is made. Play is thrown into third base from Ayanna Lindsay. But a productive out there for Thal. Both runners advancing. It'll be a sac fly. Langford scores. Delamonica to third. 6-4 game, still only one out.
Number 20, Lily Vallemont.
So Lily Vallemont will step in. And again, the infield playing at their normal depth here. So a ground ball likely picks up run number 5. It'll go to the second baseman. It will pick up run number 5 as Robinson just makes the short throw to Muno at first base. And a great job there for Michigan manufacturing runs as Delamonica comes in to score. Back-to-back productive outs. Michigan has put up a 5 spot this inning, now trailing by only a run.
Right, and I think it really goes to show that yesterday they were in between approaches. Today they opted to play small ball, and it's worked dividends for them. The focus has just been getting runners in scoring position and then giving them just enough room they need to cross the base. And I think Michigan just needs to continue doing that for the rest of this game.
Conway takes a first pitch strike. 0-1, grounded past the pitcher, played by Robinson behind second base. A strong throw to first will get Conway, and the side is finally retired. But not before Michigan picks up 5 runs on 3 hits, no errors, no one left on base. And as we reach the 5th inning stretch here, this nearly sold-out crowd at Sharon J. Drysdale Field will rise to its feet, but it's really been silenced by a 5-run inning that switched the tone in the Northwestern dugout from trying to put away the game here in the 5th to just trying to pad the lead and make sure they come out with the win at all.
Right, and at this point I think Northwestern getting runners on base is an absolute must with this leadoff at bat. I think Northwestern needs a big play to reassert their lead. Even if they just come out of this inning with a run, that is going to be nowhere near enough to pad their lead, especially with Michigan having a massive momentum swing in their favor. And it's worth mentioning that despite giving up runs, Erin Hain has not pitched particularly poorly today, and Northwestern has still not been able to do that much with their changeup.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big story for Northwestern is they've taken advantage of the opportunities that they've had, and that's why they have 6 runs. They've only left 3 runners on base through 4 innings with the 6 runs coming in. In yesterday's contest, they scored 9, yet they still left 8 on. And so they had a chance to put up an even bigger number if they had taken advantage of more of their opportunities. They've been very efficient getting runs in. Of course, that big grand slam from Cunha back in the first. It's the first pitch from Hain will be bunted foul behind the plate by Katie. Because again, if Cunha hits into an out there, this is a completely different game we're talking about. And Michigan very well might be ahead right now. Still a 1-run game, Wolverines well within it. 0-1 count. Changeup elevates a bit, misses upstairs. A ball and a strike. Katie hit by a pitch to kickstart that 2-out rally in the first inning. Struck out her last trip to the plate. Bunts it again, a really good bunt. Hain pulled to the third base side. Throw to first base is too late. It'll be a bunt single from Katie, who just laid that down in a perfect spot. Pulled Hain out of the circle and just did not have enough time to make the long throw to first base. And to the point you were saying, the leadoff batter reaching for Northwestern, that's going to be big if they want to get some insurance back here. As Emma Ray fouls the first pitch back. A walk and a strikeout in the game for the freshman catcher. Again, who moved up a spot in the lineup following a big offensive performance in yesterday's contest. 0-1. Change up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anna Katie on first base. 1-run lead for Northwestern. Looking to build that lead back. A weak fly ball into left field. That'll be easily playable for Ellie Sealer, who just takes a couple steps in to retire Emma Ray. And Hain picks up the first out in the bottom of the 5th.
And Ray's going to be 0 for 2 with 1 walk today. A far cry from the performance yesterday.
Of course, Ray was part of that 2-out rally. Did score a run in the first inning. Bridget Donahue steps back up 0 for 1 with a walk and a pop out. Swings over the top of a first pitch changeup. Cannot connect. So an 0-1 count here. 0-1 on the outside corner. The heater gets into the zone and puts Hain ahead 0-2. Again, Donahue just 8 starts last year, though she did appear in 40 games. Started in every game this year. And 0-2 swing and a miss as Hain goes back to the outside corner. Donahue cannot connect. And so there's another strikeout for Hain. She picks up her 8th of the game. And back-to-back outs following the leadoff bunt single from Hannah Katie. And now the hero of today's game so far for Northwestern, Izzy Cunha, steps in. Fly ball to center field. This one's not going to have the distance. And it'll be fielded and caught by Janisa Conway. So Hain gives up the bunt single to start the inning. But 3 straight outs after that. And through 5 innings, we got a 1-run ball game here. Northwestern 6, Michigan 5.
Absolutely, and I think for Michigan, it's a case of just not complicating what it was doing earlier. I think, as usual, just bunt and then open up, try and get runners on base, and I think obviously it is dangerous territory with them still having a 1-run deficit and Northwestern having the potential for big impact plays. But Michigan very much in this game, and in my opinion, I think the key is just keep doing what they've done well all game, which is getting those walks.
Yeah, Michigan has picked up 4 walks to go along with their 5 hits in today's game. And we saw the key in that 5th inning, 5 straight base runners to start the 5th inning. 3 hits, 2 walks. And then with 2nd and 3rd, no one out, 3 runs already in. The Wolverines did what any coaching staff loves to see. They manufactured those runs in. Kiki Thole steps in, sac fly advances both runners, and then with the infield playing back, Lily Valamont takes advantage of it, hits a grounder to second base, gets another run in. Wolverines don't strand anyone that inning. All 5 base runners who got on to start come across to score. Still are down by 1 as we enter the 6th. 5 runs on 5 hits and no errors for Michigan. 6 runs on 5 hits, no errors for Northwestern.
Stevenson today, 0 for 2, line out.
Yeah, line drive double play back in the 2nd, lined out to center field in the 4th. First pitch, change up, drops below the knees, according to home plate umpire Laura King. So it'll be a first pitch ball. Renee Cunningham, the freshman, back into circle as the 1-0 is grounded to 3rd. Fielded by Katie, throws across the diamond. And Stevenson is retired for the first out in the 6th.
Yeah, and again, I think if Michigan could do one thing a little better, in my opinion, I think it's maybe not hit towards left field so much because the angling is just not in their favor there. I'd like to see more hits being hit towards the center of the field.
So Carcaboro stays in, pinch hit in the 5th. In the DP roll, walked, came around to score, chops the first pitch foul to her own dugout. And Kookaburra really worked that at bat her last time up, fouling off several pitches until eventually working that leadoff walk that kick-started the 5-run inning. 0-1 count. And a weak dribbler, not fielded cleanly by the pitcher. Throw to first, still in time. Nice rebound there from Cunningham to save herself from an error. Kookaburra is retired, and the first two batters sent down in the 6th for the Wolverines.
Right, and Northwestern really needed those 2 quick outs. Good moves by the fielding, and I think Michigan, as I said, maybe needs to sort of open up their range of hits. I'd like to see more balls being aimed towards the center of the field.
And Bonnie Thole, with not much to lose, is going to go ahead and challenge this out call at first. It looked from here like out was the right call, but she gets 2 challenges per game. We're here in the 6th inning, really nothing to lose. And a big call here because any runner would be the tying run. Again, I thought it was the right call from here. Unfortunately, we don't have access to any replays, so we'll just have to wait until.
From what I can tell, it may end up being a situation where there just wasn't enough evidence to overturn the call.
Yeah, of course, that call on the field being out, we see so often that ends up being the difference. And Ellen McVeigh up next to bat. Obviously, Michigan would much rather have her come up with 1 out and a runner on. And umpires rather quickly come out, confirm the out call. And so Kookaburra is in fact sent down. And there are 2 outs here in the top of the 6th.
Number 32, Ella McVeigh.
Ella McVeigh steps in, hit by a pitch her first time up, and then singled as part of that 5-run barrage in the 5th. 1 swing of the bat could tie the game, but McVeigh does not have any homers yet, as a slap hitter takes the first pitch outside corner, called strike 1.
Yeah, and you saw McVeigh's forward motion there, attempting the slap hit, but in the end was not going to be able to pull back in time to get the ball off.
And McVeigh, along with Langford, really the only slap hitters this team has. The 0-1 lined out to left field, and a nice running catch by Angela Zedak as she was shading toward the gap. Looked like she snow-coned that, but just able to reach for it. And so the Wolverines go down 1-2-3 in the 6th after putting up 5 runs in the 5th. They will get the top of the order in the 7th inning, but first it's going to be up to Erin Hain to keep this deficit at just a run.
And the Wildcats are going to queue up Ashley Munoz, who's batting .625 when she's the leadoff hitter, and today has had 1 walk in her 1 at bat.
And it's 8, 9, and 1 due up for Northwestern. Munoz, the first baseman, will lead off the inning. Munoz, one of 3 players in this lineup who has not appeared in every game or started every game for this Northwestern team, making her 21st start, 23rd appearance. On the Michigan side, the only player in the lineup who hasn't started most games this season is the DP Ava Costales, who currently is not in the game, retains re-entry eligibility, but she has started every game in the Big Ten slate, all 8 of them so far. So Munoz in, hit by a pitcher last time up, struck out back in the 1st. First pitch from Hain is popped up behind the plate, and a great diving catch by Lily Valamont just in front of the wall to record a 1-pitch out.
And Valmena seemed to figure out a lot of the issues with spacing that plagued her yesterday. That catch right away made the turnaround, took advantage of the space, sort of scrunched her body a little bit to make the catch.
So with one out, Ayanna Lindsay steps in, walked and scored a run back in the second inning, popped out her last time up as the first pitch from Vihaan misses downstairs. Again, it will be the top of the order up for the Wolverines, so if they can keep it at 1 run, they have a chance to tie this game or even take the lead as the 1-0 fastball misses high for a ball. And the count is now 2-0. Fastball high, ball 3. Not what Erin Vihaan wants. With the tying run, with the top of the order looming, Kansas Robinson on deck, shows bunt on 3-0, but takes the pitch for a strike. 3-1 count now. Kansas Robinson 2 for 3 today. Led off the game for Northwestern with a home run to give them an immediate lead that they have not relinquished as the 3-1 is high. And the 9-hitter picks up her second walk this afternoon.
Number 10, Kansas Robinson.
And so here comes Kansas Robinson. Got a 2 for 3 game. Her batting average at .494, and time is going to be called before the first pitch. And I think Laura King may have been saying that Kansas Robinson wasn't ready. So that pitch will be negated. And Laura King confirms no count here. Lindsay on first with 1 out, Robinson at the dish. 6-5 lead for Northwestern, bottom of the 6th. The first of 2 games today. First pitch fouled over the press box, off just to our left on the third base side. No balls, 1 strike. Vihaan deals, change up, misses off the outer edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. One goes inside this time. Misses off that corner as well. So it's now a 2-1 count here to the leadoff hitter. Again, not a hitter that Vihaan can afford to challenge too aggressively, but she gets a 2-1 pitch over the plate, goes with the fastball, gets the called strike, and the count is now evened up at 2-2.
And Robinson tends to be a fairly apprehensive, fairly restrained hitter. You know, she doesn't often try to force it or swing much earlier than she needs to.
2-2 line center field for a base hit, and that's going to be more than a single as it's not played cleanly. That's going to get a run in as Robinson heads all the way to third base. She is safe. That ball was bobbled in center field by Janisa Conway. It'll score Ayanna Lindsay. And as we've seen throughout much of this series, again, Wolverines playing for a fielding. Wolverines paying for a fielding misplay and also paying for walking the 9-hitter. And a 3 for 4 day now for Robinson. Don't know what. Have to imagine that should be a single. Maybe they'll give her a double. But there definitely has to be an error on Conway on that ball. And that really swings the momentum here. With Kelsey Nader up, who is 0 for 3. Wolverines have to play the infield in with a runner on third, only 1 out, already down 2 in the bottom of the 6th. 3 fly ball outs for Nader, and she'll ground it, and it'll get past the second baseman and bring in another run. Not hit hard, a ball Indiana Langford should have fielded, and I think she was too focused on Kansas Robinson who was holding at third base until that ball got through.
Number 9, Angela Zachary.
And the wheels falling off for the Wolverines. So Kansas Robinson is going to get an RBI double, take third on an error. That'll be an error for Kelsey, that Kelsey Nader reaches on. So errors now on back-to-back at-bats. Looks like Robinson will be awarded an RBI. So they're saying the run would have scored. So we'll now have a pitching coach visit here, but Vihaan remains in the game. Score now 8-5, and the life kind of sucked out of this Michigan team a little bit. Picked up the 5 runs in the 5th to really make this interesting. Giving up 2 there in the 6th so far. After going down 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th, going to make it a much taller task for this lineup in the top of the 7th to get back into the game.
And it was 2 very similar errors with a fielder missing a very easily pickable ground ball. As Northwestern has all the time in the world with just 1 out and already 2 runs scored in this inning with a runner on base.
Swing and a miss, runner going to second, throw right on the runner, but not in time anyway. The 1-hop throw from Lily Valamont that went right on the runner. But I think the fact that it bounced just caused it to get in too late. That'll be a stolen base for Nader. Her 2nd of the year. Not a major speed threat, but Northwestern having its way again. 1-1 count now. Last pitch missed low. First pitch was a strike. 1-1. Fastball outside corner, called strike 2. Angela Zachary up. Pair of strikeouts, but did pick up an RBI single in the 2nd inning. 8-5 game here, bottom of the 6th. Northwestern looking to take the first 2 of 3 in this series. 1 more coming later today. 1-2 fouled back over the screen. Zachary keeps the at-bat going.
Side of the infield. There's a big gap in right center. Wonder if Zachary should try to exploit that. She's more kind of a pull hitter.
And count remains 1-2. And swings over the top of a changeup. Zachary goes down on strikes for the 3rd time today. Erin Hain picks out strikeout number 9 on her day. And Hannah Katie, the cleanup hitter, will step into the left-handed batter's box. Runner on second, 2 outs. And she gets hit by the first pitch. Up on the forearm, it looks like. It's the 2nd time that Hannah Katie has been hit by a pitch this game. 3rd batter that Hannah's plunked. And that'll give the Wildcats a pair of runners here with 2 outs.
Number 17, Emma Ray.
Right, and with two runners in scoring position and a strong hitter, Emma Ray, albeit one who's not had a great game today with going 0 for 2 with 1 walk. Northwestern does have a really good chance to kill off the game here in the center.
First pitch misses, down and in for a ball, 1-0 counts. The 1-0 misses up and away for a ball. Count is 2-0. Count is 2-0. Swings way over the top and out in front of a changeup on what would have likely been ball 3 otherwise. A gift for Erin Hain. The count now is 2-1. Emma Ray with a walk. 0 for 2 day. And the 2-1 changeup higher in the strike zone over the outer half. And so Hain gets the count back to even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2. Fastball well upstairs off the outside corner as well. So the count is full, and the runners now will be off with the release of the pitch. 3-2. Change up. Called third strike. Inside corner, and with that, the side is retired. But the Wildcats pick up a pair of runs on one hit. 2 errors, 2 left on base. The 2 runs will both be unearned. But it is Northwestern now in front 8-5. And the Wolverines with 1 more chance at the plate.
Yeah, and the Wolverines getting back to the top of their lineup is helpful for them at this stage in time. As right now, what they need is walks produced immediately, which is why I think we're going to see a lot of Wolverines open with bunt.
And Michigan, with the leadoff batter getting on base 4 straight innings, but only able to take advantage of it in the 5th. The other 2 innings, the 1st and the 6th, they went down 1-2-3. And it'll be the top 3 up, who are combined 0 for 6, or 0 for 5, along with a sac bunt from Ellie Sealer until the 5th inning, when they all reached and all came around to score. Again, 8-5 the score, as Renee Cunningham will look to complete this game. And that 5-run inning from Michigan in the 5th, the only reason this game isn't over already, but still going to be a tough uphill to climb for Michigan to avoid having to play to prevent being swept in the second contest coming up about 30 minutes after game 1. We will be back with a broadcast of game 2 later this afternoon.
Which, as things stand, you could expect around 3 p.m.
Again, Ellie Sealer up at the dish to start. Back-to-back lefties against the right-handed arm. First pitch. Fastball catches the plate, called strike 1.
Not going to be easy dealing with 1, 2, 3 and some really potent hitters, but you want to kind of test the mettle of a young pitcher.
So 0-1 count here. And fouled off to the left side. That'll bounce on top of the Michigan dugout. And so Cunningham quickly getting ahead here, 0-2. And Michigan at this point just needs base runners. 0-2. Grounder to first. Misplayed originally by Muno, but then fielded in time for her to run to the base. Ellie Sealer is retired, 1 away in the top of the 7th.
And Langford has not had the most successful series so far. 1 for 3 in her at-bats, 1 ground out, 1 line out in today's game alone.
And a bunt here from Langford. That's going to hit her in fair territory as she's running down the line. And so Langford will be out. A tough break there, as that's 2 outs now for Michigan. And Maddie Erickson will be their last chance. Will officially go as a putout for Emma Ray. First pitch to Erickson, misses outside. Erickson, 1 for 3 day, with a 2-run double in the 5th inning that really pushed Michigan back into this game. But they have lost that momentum since, as the 1-0 bounces just across the plate for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the 7th, 2 out. Northwestern leading by a score of 8-5. Grounder foul toward third. So 2-1 now. And Erickson and Thole need to get on base, which would give Lily Valamont a chance to tie it. 2-1 count. Grounded to short. Not gloved cleanly by Bridget Donahue. Ball rebounds well in front of her. And so a break for the Wolverines there, as Erickson will reach. And Michigan keeps life here with the cleanup hitter coming up.
Number 2, Kiki Thole.
So it'll be Kiki Thole stepping to the plate. And it looks like they're going to make use a pinch runner for Maddie Erickson the second time today. Lexi Delamonica pinch ran and scored in the 5th. And Delamonica and Ramey are both out of this game. Eva Costales, the DP, is currently out of the lineup, but still able to re-enter in that number 8 spot. And it looks like
Entering the game as a runner for the Wolverines, number 14, Janelle.
It'll be Janelle Lacqua. Pinch running at first base. Kiki Thole steps in. Grounder right back to Cunningham. Tosses to first base. Muno gloves the throw. This game is over. By a score of 8-5, Northwestern takes the first 2 of this 3-game series with 1 more to follow.
The Northwestern Wildcats 8, and the Michigan
Final line scores: 5 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors for Michigan, 8 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Wildcats. Northwestern leaving 6 runners on base. Michigan leaving 5 runners on base. Life there for Michigan in that 5th inning. Saw Erin Haynes settle down after giving up 6 runs through the first 2. But Michigan just not able to completely erase that large deficit.
Right, and Michigan had not lost 3 straight series versus an opponent in 30 years. The last time they did it was against Iowa in the late 80s and early 90s. But that streak is going to come to an end today in a game largely decided by fielding errors.
So that'll be all that we'll have for game 1 here, as the Wildcats take this one from the Wolverines 8-5. So we'll take a break here. Game 2 coming up in about a half hour. Be sure to keep an eye on the channel, as we will be back for game 2 as soon as it is set to begin. For now, along with Vihaan Easwar, I'm Zachary Linder. Thank you for listening to the first game of this Saturday afternoon Michigan softball doubleheader.